As a Christian of 2 years, I wanted to talk about my journey with bisexuality. I always knew I was bisexual. Every single feeling I ever felt for a boy, I always felt those exact feelings for girls as well. In elementary school, I always had crushes on boys and girls. Growing up, I always had crushes on boys and girls. Celebrity crushes were always men and women. I didn't really have a word to put these feelings to until I was about 12 years old and I started getting on the internet and discovering the LGBTQ community. Once I figured out that bisexuality was a thing, I immediately identified with it because it was exactly how I felt. So from about 12 on, I identified as bisexual at school and stuff, but never told my parents about it or anything like that. I even had a secret girlfriend when I was a teenager, it was a whole thing. When I was 18 years old, I got into an abusive relationship with a Christian man, and me being bisexual was a huge point of contention in our relationship. There was a plethora of other things going on, but I was constantly told that I was going to hell for being bisexual and I was just a sinner. I didn't believe in Jesus at the time, I just kind of pretended to appease other things in that relationship, but I was just this is absolute BS, this is stupid. But after a time I got worn down and I was just I want one less thing to argue about, so I'm just gonna stop saying I'm bisexual. So anytime someone asked, I was just been there, done that, not my thing. Just kept it short and sweet and didn't delve into it. And even though I was actively telling people, oh, it was a phase, I was just confused, I was still lusting after women. And even though I was in a relationship with a man, I was actively lusting after women more than I was men even. I broke up with that dude when I was 20, and then I started re-identifying as bisexual because I didn't have constant condemnation anymore. So when I met my current boyfriend, he knew that I was bisexual and he was pretty indifferent to it. He honestly didn't care. He didn't really understand it, but he just didn't care. Fast forward 2 years into our relationship and me and him both get saved. And even though I was a new baby Christian, Jesus just instantly lit a fire in my heart, and I was just burning so passionately for Jesus. And during this time, me being bisexual wasn't even necessarily relevant to my life because I was in a long-term committed relationship to a man, and I didn't lust after anyone else. At this time, I was also under the impression that homosexuality wasn't a sin and that was just people's misconstruence of the word. So I took my bisexuality and I just plopped it in the back of my head. It just wasn't relevant to my life and I just didn't think about it much, but I was still bisexual. I knew I was. But at the same time, at this point in my life, I started really delving into what makes a person gay. I was really torn between the two concepts of are people born gay or does something happen that makes someone gay? And then that concept just really got me questioning myself because I was what made me gay? What made me bisexual? And I started praying about it, not because I was Jesus, heal me from being gay. I was just Jesus, can you please open my eyes and help me understand? And remember, this time I did not think being gay was a sin. I thought gay people and Jesus were still like this, and I thought it was just people that made other people think being gay was a sin.